The sun rose over the sweeping grasslands, casting its amber glow across the village nestled beneath the huge African skies. Kaya woke up to the melodic chirping of birds outside her mud hut, a smile spreading across her face. Today was going to be a good day. She could feel it. After washing up, Kaya made her way outside, breathing in the earthy scent of the acacia trees. She started her morning chores, getting water from the nearby stream and gathering firewood for cooking. Though she did these tasks every day, Kaya found joy in the simplicity of it all. Humming a tune, she stoked the cooking fire. The dancing flames soothed her as she prepared a porridge of cornmeal for her family. Her younger siblings soon came out of the hut, still heavy with sleep. "Good morning," Kaya sang. The children mumbled in reply, making their older sister laugh. She ruffled their hair lovingly before scooping porridge into carved wooden bowls. The family ate together beneath the shade of a tree, swapping stories and sharing laughs. Kaya cherished these moments, especially since their mother had passed away. She now cared for her 3 younger siblings, keeping them fed, clothed, and happy. It was not easy, but the joy on their faces made every bit of effort worth it. After the meal, Kaya sent the children off to their lessons with the village teacher. She waved them goodbye, then started her trek out to the fields. The sun beat down from its place high in the cloudless sky as Kaya's hoe bit into the dry earth. Row after row she turned over the soil, preparing it for the seeds soon to be planted. She enjoyed the labor, appreciating the way it exercised her body and focused her mind. Out here it was just her, the land, and the vast African sky above. As the day wore on, others joined Kaya in the fields. Friends and neighbors exchanged greetings, gossip, and news from around the village. Laughter rang out often, along with the steady sounds of their work. When at last the sun dipped low on the horizon, Kaya gathered her tools and made her way home. After washing off the dust of the day, she went to get water at the stream. The walk was one of her favorite parts of the day. Fireflies were starting to blink to life as Kaya's feet followed the worn path through the brush. Her 2 buckets swung gently at her sides, keeping tempo with her leisurely stride. The stream's babbling grew louder as she drew near, and soon its glinting surface came into view ahead. Though this task was repeated daily, Kaya felt a sense of peace wash over her at the stream's edge. Here, she allowed her mind to wander while she waited for the buckets to fill. Thoughts tumbled through her head, meandering like the winding water. Splashing the cool liquid on her face, Kaya breathed deeply before standing to make the trek home. She moved slower now, not wanting to spill a single drop. As she walked, she gazed at the first stars winking into view in the darkening sky. How she loved this time of day. The earth seemed to glow from within, sacred and still. Back home, Kaya prepared a simple dinner and tended to her siblings. Bellies full, the children settled down to sleep while Kaya tidied up. Moving quietly so as not to disturb them, she swept the hut and put away the leftovers. Only once the hut was tidy did Kaya take her rest, sleeping peacefully through the night with the gentle sounds of the village surrounding her. When dawn's light filtered in, Kaya woke ready to start her day anew. The pattern of her days was a steady rhythm that gave her purpose and joy. She wanted for little, appreciating the simple gifts life granted her. Her heart was full of gratitude for family, health, and happiness. Still, if she was honest with herself, she yearned for one thing: love. Kaya tried not to dwell on thoughts of finding a husband. She had seen many friends marry young only to be treated poorly by men who saw wives as little more than property. Kaya knew she deserved meaningful companionship, and she was willing to wait for the right partner. Still, waiting was lonely work. To fill her time, Kaya poured her energy into caring for her family. She lovingly tended their garden, nurturing leafy greens, starchy tubers, and sweet pumpkins. In the evenings, she taught her siblings traditional songs while braiding their hair. Their smiles and laughter filled Kaya with warmth. On this day, Kaya ground corn under the sun, humming as she worked. Her sister Esh crunched pieces of last season's dried corn, helping sift the soft powder. Esh chatted happily about her lessons while Kaya nodded and made approving sounds. As they worked, joyful singing floated towards them, gradually getting louder. Kaya looked up with interest. A group of women from the next village over were passing through on their way to market. They moved gracefully down the dusty road, their voices weaving together in harmony. Kaya and Esh shared a smile before joining in the song. The women beamed as the siblings added their voices, welcoming them into the fold. They sang and danced together, spirits soaring high above the endless African sky. Too soon, the women continued their journey, waving warm goodbyes to Kaya and Esh. Kaya sighed wistfully as their voices faded into the distance. "One day, I will travel with them," she declared. "I want to see beyond our little village, beyond the edge of the grasslands." Esh furrowed her brow. "But who will care for us if you leave?" Kaya pulled her close. "Do not worry, little one. I could never leave for good. I just dream of visiting faraway places someday." Esh nodded seriously. "Maybe you will find a tall, handsome husband in one of those places." Kaya laughed. "Maybe I will. But for now, I am happy being here with you." The sisters leaned into each other, watching the women disappear over the horizon. As the sun set, they turned back to their home, hearts and bellies full. In the weeks that followed, Kaya's mind often wandered to thoughts of adventure and romance. While fetching water or hoeing the fields, she would lose herself in elaborate daydreams. One such day, Kaya was returning from the stream when a commotion at the village center caught her attention. A crowd had gathered, peering at something just out of view. Kaya hurried over, standing on her toes to catch a glimpse between people's shoulders. In the middle of the crowd stood a striking young man flanked by 2 camels laden with packs. His robes were beautifully embroidered, and he had an air of confidence. Kaya peered closer. His dark eyes shone with an intensity that startled her, and she shrank back. Murmurs rippled through the crowd as people speculated about the visitor's origins and purpose. Just then, the village elder emerged from his hut and raised his hand in greeting. "Welcome," he said. The stranger bowed respectfully. "Thank you. I am Kazim, son of Mahiri. I have come from the north seeking knowledge and experience." Kaya stared in wonder as the young man introduced himself. His way of speaking carried a lyrical quality, each word pronounced with care. The elder smiled warmly. "You are welcome here. Let us give you food and drink to refresh you after your long travels." The two disappeared into the elder's hut while villagers slowly dispersed, buzzing with excitement over their exotic guest. Kaya lingered a while longer, surprised to find her heart racing. She fingered her necklace absent-mindedly before finally heading home. The next morning, Kaya joined the crowds gathering to catch another glimpse of Kazim. Watching him interact with people, she noted his intelligence and confidence. But there was also kindness in the way he carried himself, she decided. Kaya hovered at the edges, suddenly self-conscious as she compared her tangled hair and dusty, worn clothes to the women preening and batting their eyelashes nearby. Sighing, she turned away, only to find Kazim standing before her. "Good morning," he said. Kaya froze. "Gee, good morning," she stammered. His eyes glimmered with amusement. "Forgive me, I did not mean to startle you. I wish to personally thank you for the hospitality I have received in your village." Kaya blushed deeply and stared at her feet. "Oh, I haven't done anything. I mean, I'm happy people have been kind." Kazim smiled warmly. "What is your name?" "Kaya." "Kaya," he repeated. "A beautiful name. Thank you, Kaya, for welcoming me." He gave a slight bow before walking away. Kaya stood frozen in place, heart hammering. Kaya's days took on a new rhythm after Kazim's arrival. Though she still rose with the sun to complete her chores, her thoughts now danced with daydreams about the intriguing foreigner. What adventures had he seen? What stories could he tell? She longed to speak with him again, but felt too shy to approach someone who seemed so worldly. So Kaya held fast to her routines, fetching water, tending the garden, collecting firewood. She sang softly to herself as she worked, treasuring the small joys that filled her days. There was beauty here for those who took the time to notice. On this morning, Kaya chose a longer route to the stream, one that passed Kazim's hut on the village outskirts. She walked slowly, keeping her gaze low in case he emerged. But the yard remained still, no sign of the traveler. Sighing, Kaya quickened her pace, looking at her reflection in the water. Such a plain village girl, she thought. Her mind wandered to the elegant women who had gathered around Kazim. Perhaps it was foolish to think he would notice someone like her. Lost in thought, Kaya did not hear the approaching footsteps until a shadow fell over her. She looked up with a start to see Kazim standing there, surprise flashing across his face. "Kaya, forgive me, I did not mean to disturb you." Flustered, Kaya hurried to stand, nearly dropping one of her buckets in the process. Kazim reached out to steady it. Their hands brushed, and Kaya felt her cheeks grow warm. "I hope you are well today?" He studied her face kindly. "Yes, thank you," Kaya replied, looking away shyly. "I was just getting water. This stream holds special meaning for you." Kaya blinked in surprise. "How did you know?" "I can see it in the way you interact with this place. Your spirit is at home here." His perceptiveness astonished Kaya, and without thinking she found herself confessing, "This stream is my refuge. Its song calms my mind." Kazım nodded. Water's music has power to soothe the soul. He tilted his head thoughtfully. "Would you let me walk you back to the village? I would enjoy more of your company." Kaya hesitated only a moment before nodding shyly. They fell into step together, chatting easily as they left the stream behind. In the weeks that followed, Kaya and Kazım stole moments together whenever they could, growing closer with every shared glance or touch of hands. Long days working under the hot sun left Kaya tired, but she would always find the energy to attend village gatherings where she might see Kazım. At night, her dreams came alive with visions of their future, traveling distant lands, embracing passionately, raising children together. But the dreams always ended with Kaya waking alone as the stars faded into dawn. During the day, Kaya guarded her heart. How could she, a simple village girl, envision a life with someone like Kazım? Surely he would soon be off on his next adventure, leaving her behind to nurture these fruitless dreams alone. But when Kazım looked at her in quiet moments, Kaya felt the sincerity of his affection. His presence made her feel cherished in a way she had never known before. Doubts faded away under his gentle gaze. "Will you walk with me today?" he asked one morning, appearing as Kaya finished her chores. Happiness bubbled up inside her as she fell into step beside him. Kazım led her to a hilltop that showed views of endless valleys and far-off mountaintops. As they sat side by side, Kaya felt she could see the whole of creation stretching out before them. Kazım turned to face her. "I have never met someone like you," he began earnestly. "Being here, getting to know you and your village, I have learned more than in all my travels before." He paused, searching her face. "You have truly touched my heart, Kaya. I cannot imagine leaving without you." Kaya's breath caught in her throat. "Kazım, emotion silenced her words. He took her hands in his. "Say you will be my wife. We will travel the world together and make a home filled with love. I want to give you the life you dream of." Joyful tears spilled down Kaya's cheeks. Here, beneath the endless African sky, she had found the one her heart sought. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I will marry you." They came together then, sealing their promise with a kiss as the setting sun bathed them in golden light. Kaya had never known such bliss. A thrilling new chapter was unfolding before her. She could not wait to turn the page. In the breathless days that followed, Kaya floated through her chores in a state of wonder, scarcely able to believe that she would soon become Kazım's wife. Each night she curled up remembering the tender passion of his kiss and the adoration in his eyes. During scarce free moments together, they learned each other, the curve of a smile, the sound of a laugh, the intertwining of fingers and souls. Kaya had finally found the one her heart had long searched for. Gone were her wistful glances at the couples around her. Now she understood their joy. When at last the day came, Kaya woke at dawn, too excited to sleep. Her sisters helped dress her in a milk-white linen dress they had embroidered with tiny flowers. They wove bright cloth through her braids and draped strings of shells around her neck and wrists. "You look just like a queen," gasped little Esh. Kaya laughed freely, the sound rippling out like rain. She felt transformed, radiant, seen. The village gathered to celebrate, feasting on goat stew and palm wine. Drums resonated as people danced joyfully. Kaya sought out familiar faces, her beaming siblings, childhood friends, the village elder who had always offered wisdom. These precious people had shaped her world. Now, she would venture beyond her only home. When she finally met Kazım's gaze, Kaya saw the promise in his eyes. Wherever they journeyed, they would carry each other in their hearts. With his hand clasped in hers, the future burned bright with hope. Long after dusk had darkened the vast African sky, Kaya lay curled against Kazım's chest, listening to his soothing breath. This was the start of her dreams coming true, a new chapter filled with discovery and wonder. The only world she had known would soon expand vastly. Though uncertainty lurked ahead, Kaya did not fear. Kazım's steadfast love would anchor her. Nestled safely in his arms, Kaya closed her eyes and dreamed of adventures to come. Their lives now woven together, two kindred spirits would explore life and love under the open skies.